Living with toxic people can have an extremely negative impact on not only your emotional health, but your spiritual and physical health. But what if you can't cut these people out? Whether they are parents or a spouse or even worse, a vengeful ex-spouse. How do toxic people affect your manifesting? Do you feel like your life is in a standstill because of them? Stay tuned and let me help you through this. Namaste, Sacred Masters. I'm Dr. Iwas Ukehi, Shadow Work NLP Manifestation Coach, and I'm here to help you with your shadow work and manifesting questions, as well as give you tips on new ways you can practice your self-growth. So don't forget to subscribe for Group of Your Numbers on Tuesdays, Pick a Card Shadow Work on Thursdays, and Shadow Work Manifesting Tips on Sundays so that you don't miss anything that can help you make your life better. So, before we get started on this, first of all, I want to say that this video does not apply to people who are in situations where they are mentally, emotionally, or physically abused. There is no workaround for abusive people. You need to leave them, and even if you can't, there are many helpful resources such as the National Domestic Violence Hotline, if you're in the US, or other advocates and shelters by looking up online. Remember, your friends and family rather you return from a failed relationship than in a coffin. For others, toxic people can come in many forms, but in essence, they all want to share their negativity, whether it is complaints, problems, fear of judgment to others, and this can negatively impact your vibrational space as well. Your life begins to get pulled down in their vibrational level. See, it is normal for life to have ups and downs. But with toxic people, they never let you have your ups, they pull you down with them, and when they have their ups and you have your downs, you are off to fend for yourself. The Dalai Lama once said, if somebody is looking for a bin to throw all their trash into, make sure it's not in your mind. So, what happens when you can't cut a person out of your life? Then, we must learn how to cut their negativity from your life. Easier said than done, right? I've read so many books and blogs about living with toxic people. They range from set boundaries, walk away, talk to them, etc., etc. The problem is, toxic people want control from you. Set a boundary or walk away, they will have something to hold over you. Whether it is your kids' well-being, or money, or kicking you out of the house, toxic people are not stupid, and they will find everything they can to stay in control of you. You've experienced it, if you're watching this video. So, with that kind of control and manipulation they hold over you, what can you do? We are going to take back control. Now, I'll list some of the most common problems, but if there is something you'd like me to cover, comment below and I'll add it to my next video on living with toxic people. Ultimately, the only tactic toxic people can use is fear. They control you through fear. The most common way that toxic people try to control you is money. Whether they are sponsoring you living under their roof, or a husband or wife who is a breadwinner of the family, and even a boss who threatens to fire you. Money is the number one reason toxic people try to wave above you to manipulate you. Why? Because we all need money. It is part of our survival. And when toxic people see an imbalance in power, they use it as manipulation tactics against you. Thus, there are two steps you need to do in order for you to work against toxic people who use money to control you. One is to tilt the imbalance of power. Without them knowing, begin to save some money. Begin to plan your career. Start looking at ways you can tilt this balance of power. Start an online business. Start an investment portfolio. You don't tell them what you are doing, but every small bit that you do now creates not only confidence within you, but also the strength when they try to use money to manipulate you again. Write down the imbalance of power in your journals and start coming up with ways that you can secretly tilt this imbalance of power. Remember, it is important that they don't know about this, so they cannot manipulate you and stop you in your tracks before you're even started. The second thing you want to do is write down the following questions. What is the real motive of this person? What are they afraid of? Who benefits from this and who gets taken advantage of? Oftentimes, you'll be surprised at the answer. The reason people are toxic towards you is that they are the ones who are actually afraid. They are the ones who are afraid you would leave or afraid they won't have control of you anymore. Begin to see this power within you and start to own it. Own this power. Transmute the feelings of feeling brought down to their level to feelings of pity and empathy for them. When you realize your fear is gone, take steps to turn around the imbalance of power. The next common one covers married or divorced couples. It is when toxic spouses or ex-spouses use kids against you. They may start saying bad things to your kids about you, threaten to make them grow up to hate you. You cannot fathom the idea of that, right? The fear of your child hating you tears you apart. This is when shadow work can come in useful. You need to sit with that fear instead of running away from it. You see, the problem in this isn't your toxic spouse or ex. The problem is you. You're afraid and have no faith in your child to make their own decisions. Sure, there may be a young person easily susceptible to influence, but ask yourself this, or in fact, ask anybody who has grown up in a broken family where spouses talk bad about each other. Nobody hates a parent because they have been fed lies about them. Truth always come out, and the one speaking bad of the other will pay the price later when the kids grow up. But you're saying, Dr. Yukehi, I can't live to think of just one day of my child hating me. I would rather kill myself. I will give you a solution to that. But before that, I highly suggest you do your shadow work and sit with your fear long enough that it passes. Because the solution to your child not hating you has to come from a place of strength and confidence, something you don't have now if you are living in fear. So, do your shadow work, or you will become reactive instead of proactive. Because you cannot be reactive when your child comes up to you and say, Dad said you hate me, or Mom said you were a failure. When you have done shadow work, you will also realize that it's not about you. It's about your child. So when they say remarks like this because of your spouse or ex, you are not reacting, but rather see it as an opportunity to help your child grow. If there's one thing a child is, they're curious. Use this curiosity to bond with them properly. If your child says, Dad said you hate me, you can either 1, be reactive and try to defend yourself, or 2, sit down and discuss the moral of the story with your child. Ask them what they think of the word hate means. Ask them what have you done that they might think that way. Ask them what's the moral of the story when others say mean things about someone that isn't true. What you're doing is catering to their curiosity and transmutating it into understanding. Watch what happens to your spouse or ex the next time they try something like that. Complete backfire. The biggest weakness of all toxic people count on for you is that by controlling you, you don't have a support system. The master manipulators are able to control your mind and make you think that it is embarrassing to ask for help or confess life isn't going the way you planned. They hope that nobody tells you the truth, which I'm about to. I want you to sit down and list all the ways in which a friend asked for help and you laughed at them or told them to go away. Let me guess, your page is blank, right? Because no friend would ever in their right mind judge you. In fact, most of us would be relieved you asked for it. How many times has someone asked for my help and I could finally say what I really felt about their relationship, or that I knew something was going on? How many times I am relieved they asked for my help before it was too late? Start your support system now. Nurture your support system. If you try to do it alone, you will fail. Why? Because toxic people have their whole lives training to be toxic, and this may be your only experience dealing with one. They have way more experience than you. What you need is an army. Whether it is friends and family or a mental health professional, you should not deal with this by yourself, or you will find yourself mentally drained, spiritually empty, and physically sick. Another reason that people stay in toxic relationships is that they believe they can fix their toxic relationship. Here's the thing. People can change, but it's up to them, not up to you. You might care about them and want to help them change, but in the end of the day, it's their journey, not yours. Sit down with your shadow journal and ask yourself, why do you feel the need to control the way they are? Sit with that emotion and eventually learn to let go of it. You are worthy. You are a perfect sentient being. If they want you, they will have to change, not you making them change. When you want somebody to change, the problem isn't them, it's you. They have to earn you. Because there are 8 billion people in this world and millions will fight to earn your affection and devotion. If you do the things I mentioned above, you will know when you reclaim back your power when you don't feel a need to change them. In fact, it's almost a game to see if they can earn you. Remember, never engage with a toxic person because that's exactly what they require from you in order to keep up with their toxicity. If they don't have anywhere to burden their negative energies on, they will have to find it somewhere else. You do this by taking responsibility for your own emotions and allow them to have theirs. Acknowledge their choices, so you're not giving them a rise. Oftentimes, toxic people are still immature spiritually. So rather than work on themselves, they vent out and cry more, oftentimes with violent behavior. So when dealing with toxic people, always remember to show empathy. Just don't enable the behavior. Remember, when toxic people try to control you, there is only 3 things you can do. Change your thinking, change your behavior, or do nothing. It is ultimately your choice. But when you agree with them, when you enable them, you suffer, not the other way around. So, before I end this video, I wanted to give you something for your shadow work. I want you to sit down with your journals and write down your fears. All your fears about letting the toxic person in your life go. It could be anything from kids to money, anything. After that, I want you to take each item and begin to write down different ways in which you can take the power back yourself. You can use some of my methods above, or be creative and find some methods. This is your life that you can use to take back and empower your life today. Oftentimes, you may also discover that you are afraid of letting go because you were programmed to believe in things at a young age. For example, you might want to stay in a relationship just to prove to your parents that you are not a failure. How do you let go of these past programming? I recommend you check out my video on letting go and shadow work to help you accomplish that. Remember, you are not alone in this. It is my hope that as this community grows, we can each be a support system for each other as well. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.